I hope say any self sound I feel on self. I hope so now they do well. I hope say the week the week has been good to you guys. I hope say life has been good. I hope say una not feel on self too busy. First of all, let me apologize for the late start. Listen, we do not always have control of our time, right? And because we do not always have control of our times, thinking happen with the outside of we control. So now then they happen today. But one thing is true though, I am here now, we are all here now, and we're going to have a very, very fantastic evening, a very good, vibrant discussion about a lot of different things them where they go on in our country. As soon as I know the topic na Salone issues, and so therefore we sit down for talk now also about Salone issues. I don't name we know how you call us centralize the show to one thing no more, because not to one thing no more we want focus on, and that make we call the show today current issues making headlines in Sierra Leone. Today one them where they DM me, I hope say now when I don't see say we don't can live and when I go stop for send me direct messages. And today one them will promise say I go send the link as the show they go on. I promise you I will send the link. So listen, as usual, and I not forget to hydrate today, not to water I drink something else, but nonetheless it is still liquid. So Bakutin and Ongo now we country this week. this week. A lot of things then. And I think say one of the major things then where we cannot put aside or we lock we pan obviously now the current political party, the SLPP delegates conference where the whole have been to money, right? Have been to money. And then the other thing where we can lock we iPad now the news we come on a do this morning of a very fine young lady now the military way succumb to in wounds them, in pains them, in injuries them during the accident of where take place where the first lady in convoy the Komokono come inside Freetown, I think on the McKinney Highway. I believe that's what is being said all over the place. But to go a little bit deeper, there are few things that I'm going to be addressing today that we surround. Make I not say me because CEO will join me very soon. But few things that they will go for address today. We definitely get for surround the first lady, not the SLPP. The SLPP as a party, true. The first lady we also get for talk about governance, right? We also get for talk about a bit of governance, because when I see the letter we come out towards the local government and all that day. And talking about the first lady as well, obviously it's a sad moment, but then they no go make we no go talk about things them where we supposed to talk about, even as we pay respect to the deceased. And now you might say, why is there a plural? Where is there a plural? Because what has made news, meaning that waiting on common do, we definitely know say some other people then die, some other people then don't succumb to the wounds them. We die during the accident. We definitely know for saying that 2 people them within the military corps die, as well as an apprentice. I'm not sure if it was a civilian apprentice or within the military personnel. So in total, 3 people are deceased. In total, 3 people are deceased. But the one we make the biggest headline so far, we're not sure if they will get for release the other names them. The one we don't make the biggest headline so far, now this young lady who happened to have been the personal bodyguard of the first lady. The personal, as a matter of fact, she was her principal. Her principal means to say a number one bodyguard. Um, so this young lady succumbed to a wound. I already knew that something happened last night. I got the news, as a matter of fact, last night. But Unanomi, I have to wait to see if that news will come out or if that news will be kept, right? For varied reason. So I want to go to somebody. We post something, but this young lady in passing, even before we take a minute to pay our respect, regardless of who she was assigned to. What remains and what remains true is the fact that this young woman was serving a country. She was serving a country, and that must be honored, that must be respected, regardless of whatever. Okay, so this morning, obviously, we wake with Sylvia Olenka Blyden, where he writes something in page where he talks say Kema Kane, the closest female bodyguard to a Chief First Lady Fatima Madabio, could not survive her injuries from the gruesome road accident along the McKinney Highway. Kema has passed away at the intensive care unit. Kema was like a daughter to Fatima. Photos are of Kema with the First Lady Fatima Madabio on Kema's birthday a few weeks ago at a memorial of late SLPP Bond chairman, always next to Fatima, either in front of her or immediately behind her. May her soul rest in perfect peace. This is truly hard. It's deeply sad. And then she goes on to say, I will be off social media today. Obviously, I don't see this lady, some photo ops them, obviously, with the first lady or things and this, that, whenever, because to be honest, is that I know they pay attention to the first lady in dealings or whatever, but when something of significance, something of importance, then yes, I'll take a time to read the news and what have you. Like I say, it is not clear if this young lady has been buried. There are speculations that she's already been buried. We are not sure. And because we are not sure, we're not going to go to assumptions. But what we want to say here absolutely is that may the soul of Kema Kane rest in power. She is very young. She's at a very tender age. You can tell that she's got a lot of life left in her. You can tell she's got a lot of life left in her. And please, I would ask anyone who wants to politicize this incident, please, I ask you kindly not to. Like when they can say, rain not the fodona one man do mot, rain the fodona all do mot. Rain the fodona all do mot. There has been accidents upon accidents upon accidents na the land. And we always they talk say, some vehicles are not meant to be on the road. Some vehicles are not fit to be on the road. People need to be very careful when driving on the road. People need to watch out for each other when driving on the road. It's rather unfortunate that at this time, the people that were involved happen for be, the first lady in convoy, and therefore some of the people closest to her happen to have been the victim here of this, and will lead to the demise. So we definitely pray that the young lady and the other two, yes, the young lady and the other two, we pray that they definitely rest in power. We pray that we ask, or I ask, that their families be given the utmost respect and the utmost space to mourn the passing of this young lady. And I also ask that please, whatever we do, may we not bring this down to ethno-politicization or politicization. A life has been lost, a life that was in service. Remember, she was in service, she was in duty, regardless of who she was serving. That's not what matters here. She was serving her country, regardless of the form in which she was serving. This young lady, these young people were serving their country, and we must honor and we must respect that. I go pass them over to CEO. I don't know if CEO gets something for talk. And me definitely send my deepest of condolences to the family, and yes, to the State House, the office of the First Lady, because if you don't work with somebody this long and this close, absolutely, you will get some intimate connection with the person. So nobody no one for the another situation there. But what has happened. We move forward, and we can only pray for God for comfort the family, and for comfort, and make God grant in good God.
Thank you very much, Matilda. Again, this is not a tragic death. Nobody not a wish for that kind of thing here. Most especially when somebody where maybe assigned to a first lady, and also at the same time now somebody will get family, and this is not a tragic situation. So, I mean, therefore, we still myself for comment on this one because of waiting the unfold right now. Situation like this, first of all, we're not supposed to mix anything with politics with us. But don't find yourself in a situation like continue say every single thing is about politics, even at the wrong time. And we need for highlight some things in our way happen. As much as the first lady they grieve, as much as the first lady they go through hard time and is somehow nervous about what's happen. Again for learn for restraining safe and be careful how they use some words and publicly. Because again for no say the kind of office way all some of the things the way they say now a policy statement. So I think the way it is say for influence and investigation where they go on. For me, the first thing could come and make what say what he say at that point. Again, for Lance, there's a difference between speculation and fact. You know, they come use speculation in terms of fact. Even if you suspect yourself something, somebody come after you or the accident on ordinary, you can go around still yourself and wait until the investigation completes. Because you as a first lady, if you come and can't talk, say, I feel saying now me that they come for that they have already not see no sign, not see yourself will get accident, you can't not around me. That by itself, you don't influence the investigation that go on. We all know what's happened at Salone. We all know how we would them they're not safe. We all know how accidents they happen every day. We all know how much kind of the maintenance so much to cut it. So for you what's up in a public place, say them for increase me security. Um, this person here, you know, choose not to have a good get in accident around me. You the type of talk say that was a plan coup against you. And that, if you not get a proper evidence to back that up, it's a reckless statement. It's at the same without holding back because somebody don't die.
Um,
We're not supposed to get to that point. We side with the influence a dead person when a security officer we're supposed to honor in death today. Not bring Kalu and politics into it. That woman and family deserve the respect what it gets, most especially the kind of job they do for guard you, put in life on the line. If you die today, allow the security personnel of the country for me them to do a proper investigation for sure what happened.
Okay.
But for come up and that, it was irresponsible and it was a reckless move. And this one, none for all back on that because we as the people of the country never go for stand up for waiting at the right thing. Because at the end of the day, that poor man will get the accident. If it comes an ordinary accident, you don't jeopardize, you don't put your life on at risk, you don't put in family life at risk. If they go to jail, man, for off because of what you see, because of your influence statement, you not think about your own family as well. Because then said don't lost somebody at this point right now. Then said there's somebody within a critical situation. Then want to call it not in motorclasses, it's not somebody the guy for. You don't lost society the feeding
Okay,
family.
see
So
you.
we are talking about so many things here where we just to out the most simple and just to another and street like that. Yeah, go ahead.
You jump right into the topic, Baba. I say, me on side. I say, okay, make me tell us for bearing first before we jump into the topic. But you come, you know, even waste time. You just jump right into that.
Well, I have to because
But
so
anyways,
that's the problem. This because so many tragedies don't happen. I make not allow some people and because of their own euphoria, because their own happiness, and if you say everything just not a fun. You
yeah.
the facility where you get as a first lady, nothing a man they get. So if you go for somebody to come after your life, you get to make sure so you get proof to prove that you know they just twist up out there and they just walk away. For that you go
Yeah,
in a public place
we
and
will
make
get
them kind
to
of
that.
statement. It mean a lot.
We will get into that. We will get into that. We will definitely get into that because, like I've been not explain tell the people them. I say we will take this show so step by step, but definitely we get for get into the statement of the first lady. But before we get into that, I've been just one for take the term really and just pay quote unquote homage, just pay, sympathy to the family of them people and we don't lost their life, including this young
Exactly.
lady. Um, but before we get into that, I want to make we talk about something again we involve the first lady. Um, Personally, I don't know if you don't get in the same information of people and don't reach out to you. Quite a number of people and don't reach out to me, including very wait here for say trustworthy, like say people in a society where obviously they're not gonna mix pan something just because. Then they talk say them a lot of picking them where they use the pad, then they get reaction. Then they get reaction to the pad. Now I know for say this now an hygiene thing, this now a sensitive issue, especially when it comes to girls, especially when it comes to women. So for me, waiting, and then I ask the question: the pad, does it have an expiry date on it? Because we know for say hygiene products, them the lifespan of hygiene product, most hygiene product, especially sanitary pad and tampons, na 2 year from the date of manufacturing. Some I feel I'm way I actually want for bring me on because now I'm talking as a woman, okay? I be even want for bring different samples them of me on and show to the world who side the manufacturing date can put, sometimes who side the expiry date can put, or sometimes they not can put both, sometimes they just they put no more the manufacturing date. And are you now the kind of guess from date of manufacturing 2 years before that you for make sure say you don't use them products then they. So when the complaint begin multiply as to the picking them, hey, we wear the pad with the crutch with reaction. I can't help but think about two things. First of all, them pad then they don't sit on a warehouse for a very, very long time before they were distributed to these kids. Second of all, we don't know the manufacturing date of them pad then they. Until when the manufacturer, how long it takes from the time of manufacturing for when it reach na Freetown, how long it takes from the time when it reach na Freetown to the time now where it's been distributed. Also, the storage facility, how the climate now the storage facility, waiting have been the temperature now the storage facility. Was the temperature in the storage facility conducive to that kind of product there? Or had, because of the temperature, maybe the moisture, not the air, not the air, I say not the air, I talk like then Salone people and at the ear, not the air, okay, the moisture, not the air, don't, affect the quality of the product. So, in this respect, for transparency's sake, wetin me go actually like for say to the organizers of this part distribution. I'm not saying it's not a good venture. Like I said last week, now laudable venture, and then yes, it time am towards the eve of International Development Week, where International Development Week, one of the sustainable goals out of the 17 sustainable goals, now sanitary hygiene and whatever is part of it. So yes, that is good if that's what you choose to do. But in doing so though, you for ensure say because you dey deal with hygiene and you dey deal with female hygiene, where if you not take time, it can lead to so many other complications then. You have to be very, very careful with wetin you dey distribute, the how dem call am, the storage facility, the conditions of the product. You need to be very careful with that. And for me, for them picking the way they react, because another thing again, where I will say, because I try to be very not diplomatic, but I can really try to bring a balanced perspective into this, is that sometimes also the female body or our bodies in general can react to certain products. Not to all products good for we body. Me we sit on my aso. Not to all hygienic pad or tampon or female products good for me body. Some line there, if I use them, I am in big problem. Big problem. I will need for go see me doctor before things will be corrected. But because I don't know me body now, I know wetin good for me body, so I know the line of products them where I will use na me body. So I think say I don't lay them open, and I don't lay them in such a way that nobody no go talk say I present this in a biased manner. If it is a matter of ensuring dates, expiry dates, make it known to the girls, make it known to the people. Not go give them a product we almost about to expire, or also not put the product them na a temperature we not suitable for them. I don't know if you get something for add to that.
Yeah, I got a whole lot for add to that because the situation I made at yes a couple of times ago. Um, make I say this: when you want for do good thing of that one day, but also it comes with responsibility, sensitization, and then country you therefore use the right people and for do the distribution. This is not a medical thing. You need to get people away that know, get more idea, so they're going to give a better advice than musicians do. What thing we politicians they do is that they worry more about getting the fame than make the product be more successful for the people there. The thing is, Naya, is that you get for make sure, see, them part and for be distributed by people who then were able to give a warning. This is how white man then better pass we where it come to them here. Not to just worry about giving the part, but give a warning behind the pad that people know say this is a situation. Pad is not a one size fits all kind of thing. This is where the people when they are around the first lady miss the ball. At one point in time, picking them the talk say, oh, when this tell make they bleed, they want to turn to political stuff. I say no, stuff for making politics. The idea of the pad, not a bad idea, because we know say most of the picking them, all they grow up. This word we don't use say per species and anything and they now it make it sometimes some of the figure out what per species. Most of them cannot get money for even use them here. So most of them parents and they from at a younger age, you don't teach that for using PCs here. If you get somebody out a different idea for make sure they get that dignity and respect, you're not going to school, not a very good idea. But at the same time, Make the people understand say it comes with responsibility and education. Like what we talk about, then here, then product here, each the thing they make them first, the kind of material they can make them with, not to all my fit. So that
Yeah.
material they irritate people in. So that material they cause bleeding. So you get people that know say give a first before you distribute and give a warning, say so people and they way a minds now fit. If it not fit you, you can either throw them away or the way you know use gear to somebody who go fit you, but test them first. Test and make you see how it will fit you first, if it fits your system. Even to the injections that we talk about, the depot and other medical birth control, shout them, not to all my defeat. Some people they make you
Yeah.
bleed, some people they make you get different, some people they make you the blood, they get too much gas, they make you fat. So even the pills, not all my fit. So let alone anything we get for do with your body and products, whether you insert them or you put them on your skin, there is always gonna be either a reaction or an allergic reaction from the material. So people that need for sensitize people upfront. The problem with we own country is that all man want for win political goal more than for do the right thing or do waiting it's required. Wetin the first lady do now a real honorable thing for help. I don't know side any part in the come out. Like I say, that's a different thing. But if, just for distributing to young people and allow them for make an army school and give them that dignity, it's a honorable thing, no matter if you like them or not. But at the same time, then self get a responsibility for make sure say if them party they go to somebody, educate them, make them know say this this year it come up front. If it happens to say so and so and so discard of it might not fit you. So, but at the end of the day, I don't know if now the we way of thinking like as a people or as a country feel say if you do that, you will miss, you know, go score the point. In fact, that will make you score better points because people not go make propaganda with them. You don't already come out earlier and give them a warning, say not to all money get for fit, but anyway they fit, make them able to use them and help them. Are they not fit? You can find the material will fit you, so you still able to maintain your dignity and respect. But if you give the people an idea like say, well, it's okay for everybody, then you know, okay, people don't begin to ask because common like countries everybody if you say every little thing for do with witch, every little thing for do with worship. And when it comes to woman productive reproductive organs them or sex in Africa, it get for do a whole lot of time. It get for do juju business. So you get for really think ahead of the people then. You get for think ahead of anticipate what thing for happen and try for address and force before you do it. And this is where we say advice and then kind of higher office is very, very important. Hire the right people that where they job this, where they learn this things here. So then we're able to make what you do be successful at the same time. Here, the kind of benefits everybody for benefits. But when you just go put people around just because of friendship and don't know all enter, then worry about for prove people are wrong, not to for do the right thing. This is what enter happen because what's the first thing to do, like I say, it's an honorable thing, and we need to applaud them for that. But at the same time, give people a warning about what they for expect before time. So when the thing happen, we're not circle, this thing happen, and people are within the medical field and don't used to them saying, and they more if I don't put it before. Make them they already give
Indeed.
warning going forward.
Indeed, expert advice in everything is very, very important. Proper planning, communication is very, very important. Like you say, it's a good thing, but like you say, people embody different and people then can react different to different things. So make sure all your cards are laid out on the table. Make sure all your cards, you don't lay all your cards out on the table so that therefore if there is something, at least you can able defend yourself, right? You can able defend yourself. But we're not going to belabor this point. The phone lines are open, people. The phone lines are open even as we continue to go deeper into this with discussion today. The phone lines then don't open. Well, I want for begin with one tweet where we see, and well, as with technical team, make it begin with that tweet. They can go inside the I don't know side the freeze period. The freeze period na Salone, right? So before an election, every elected offices then get for dissolve them, right? There's a freeze period. Now Canada, we call them the REIT period, right? The read period. I don't know what's in the Americans them or the I may call it the British or whoever. I don't know what's in them call them. Even a Salone, I don't know what's in. Now the right name for our only know what's in the Canadian name by virtue of my job. Every time there is an election, going to the wait period where I know they do not they publicize or do anything political and what have you. And I remember, I think few years back or so, I even stopped for those show. I talk say, okay, listen, we are going into election periods in Canada, and so we're in the read period, and by virtue of waiting me they do, it affects me for even coming, even talk about foreign nation in this regard, we go be Sierra Leone, right? So I stopped for do show for about I think 3 months or so until after the read period, the election, and inauguration and all of those blah blah blah. I think in Sierra Leone, from waiting me actually understand that read period, that freeze time day, I think it's supposed to be 2 months. If I know a mistake, if I know the mistake, it's supposed to be 2 months before the election. But make we go inside, make we understand them a bit more because we are all learning, and because we're all learning, we get time for go inside, see what people and they say, see what in this document say, and see what in the law say. Because remember, as broken as our constitution is, that is the supreme law by which the sovereign nation of Sierra Leone should abide by. Whether they are abiding by it, that is a completely different debate, but that is the supreme law of the land. So we see Miss Blyden, where come Bugubaga, I say, Echi Madabion, government says all mayors, all district council chairpersons, all local councillors to vacate their offices on March 1st, less than 3 weeks away. He left and so, not talking at him. And then following that, we see a tweet by, I believe he is the acting something for the APC party. No, it's not because I don't pay attention to their title or that I don't want to give them the merit of their title, but it's not something that is important to me for the purpose of the show, yeah? So Honorable Abdul Kagbo, obviously winner from the APC party, come and say the letter, and we'll go to the letter. It says the letter from the minister of local government violates section 137 of the Local Government Act. Nobody has the right to appoint a date for the disclosure, for the dissolution of council. It's either 5 years from the day of their first sitting or on the day per dissolves, i.e., if the first sitting of parliament is earlier. Okay, so parliament they refer to. So what did they say? He said na 5 years to the date where they open parliament. So now remember that first big opening, that ceremony. He say, so if we dey count from the time where that ceremony they happen, right? 5 years to that day, 9 this dissolution for take place. Or if parliament decide for dissolve before that same day, then obviously all offices becomes obsolete. Now, wetin bring about then 2 tweets there so. Make we go inside. Make we go inside wetin bring about then 2 tweets there so. We go read the I don't know if it's a press release or letter. Okay, so I can turn small to my bigger screen. That way they are go able to see proper one. So the government of Sierra Leone Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs, 6th floor UE building, Brookfields, Freetown. Okay. Address to all mayors, district chairperson, and councillor, 8th February 2023. Their mayors, chairperson, and councillor subject notice to step aside. Okay. Gonna give me 1 second. Okay, if yeah, so if you can extend this more. I am instructing you pursuant to section 137 of the Local Government Act 2022, Act number 26 of 2022, to vacate council on the 1st of March instant. You are further instructed to do a comprehensive handing over of your office to the chief administrators accordingly. Let me congratulate you at the end of your tenure and convey the ministry's appreciation to all of you for serving our people and contributing to national development in your various ways. Together, we have been able to work collaboratively to enhance governance and service delivery. I must also inform you that His Excellency the President has during his Meet the People tour recognized and appreciated the significant role of local council in the governance architecture at the sub-national level. And then it goes on to say, to the mayors and district chairperson on their second term, we wish you well and hope that you will continue to serve your country in other capacities moving forward. To those intended to run for office again, the ministry wishes you all very good luck in the coming elections and will be delighted to work with you again. The chief administrators are directed accordingly to take full inventory of the council's assets and finances before the 28th of February in the Directorate of Decentralization in my ministry and the Fiscal Decentralization Directorate in the Ministry of Finance will continue to provide comprehensive monitoring and council activities whilst providing technical and professional support until such a time when the fourth council is ushered in. The ministry operates an open door policy for any inquiries and or clarification. Let me thank you once again for your service to the people of this country. Okay, so Nadande na comot na the local council ministry. Now, where this one so comot, I just want to take una back 5 years ago. Una remember there was a lawyer who is also a professor by the name of Lawyer Gabido. When I one day in I one pandemic Sunday show night talk about Tusim. When I remember what happened with the Tusim story, I will not recount history. Yeah, I will not recount history. But however, this letter where they ask the mayors, the councillors, and the local whatever for vacate their offices by a certain date, is it constitutional or is it or is it unconstitutional? Was there a meeting held by the various bodies to decide that, okay, at this date, we all agree consensually, unanimously for this to happen? Is it within the jurisdiction of this body of government to enact or to legislate such? Make we go to the constitution, make we see what in the constitution tell we. So the same act where then call, they say na section 3137, yeah? So waiting this act here so tell me. This act here so section 137 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone says all local councils shall stand dissolved at the expiration of at the expiration of a period of 5 years, commencing from the date of the first sitting after the last general election. At any date, no later than the date of the dissolution of Parliament in accordance with the provisions of Section 85(1) of the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone. So this letter and the Constitution, this ministry and minister and the Constitution, now Uswan Olwata, I go left and give you, make you kind sign.
All right. I think say we biggest problem here, Parliament's now biggest problem in Sierra Leone. Parliament, they can always set up the country for fail, and then turn around and begin to become a crybaby in our hand. This order not supposed to come from the president, it's supposed to come from Parliament. Parliament give the president enormous power. No, the president not get the power on them more. Then give the president enormous power because they're so they're so greedy, and they're so incompetent. Now when the president use their power here, they can't begin to cry to we like I say, they're not getting no clue, so they they come out. Not the president write them rules here, not the president write them laws. Then those laws were written by Parliament. Now Parliament is supposed to send them here to the local government and say, hey, according to the law in the country, so and so time when they come, we're not supposed to dissolve them office here or relinquish the power and wait according to the book. If we're not doing so and so and think for this is our repercussion, this is what's in the book. What the Parliament do now? Then they set them bad rules and bad laws, give the politicians in power, so much power to the president for do them here for 6 power from people. Then the way the president use them against them, they come at the other come for play this victim to we for low with this now. Abdul Karim and all these other guys, they're nobody's law. This law was written by Parliament, this law passed by Parliament. Their officers are not supposed to send anything say on behalf of the president. Their officers are supposed to come directly from the Parliament. If the Parliament get the backbone for do what he did for do, not to the president in job is. Everybody will take that office, they know exactly when he forgot the office, when he forgot the office. But not assume now, say, no, just take this time. You cannot waste time and then tell the way it goes to. Not assume now, say, the president forcefully pull everybody in the office right now. What's going to happen? The president overstep in power. He go beyond what the constitution says, what they only talk to. What's he going to do? Because we all know, say, the court already not get backbone. The court already belong to the president. Whoever is in power, the court belong to them. So, who is inside you go for go sue? Because you go sue na court, the court go turn around and tell you the president right. Because they all offer keep them sitting as chief justice them. So the reality now is that until the parliament go back and rectify what here, take some power away from the president and give it back to themselves and be the people's house instead of allow the president for run all around the country. I didn't talk only about President Bio. I talk about every president we don't come to. Now Salone. They don't give them so much enormous power. Yeah, the same one they go tell them, "Pai, you know, say get them power. Pai, you know, say people do this here. Pai, you know, say people do that here." The party say, "This is not a man." There's a reason why there's a constitution. The constitution is for making people protect president from people make them become over powerful. Now that make them put center in place for be as a guardrail, so that the president will overstep them and the boundaries them. But when I say people are supposed to put them guardrail here, now on the same one they destroy the laws in our country. And the same one they write bad laws them. And the same one they give so much power to one person, so maybe for a person abuse the things of the country. All presidents are not among them. Then therefore look for what's in benefit them and empathy them. And then get so much good people around them. Then get people that are so power conscious and power hungry, then they're around them. So what do you expect to happen? Not a president for tell you this. This was supposed to go for parliament. Parliament supposed to for interpreting laws here because at the right
Mm-hmm.
time, tell people that say, hey, this so that the date is so not by what is say date is so not supposed to left office. If you did it, you take any salary, then what happen to some APC parliamentarian? We not say you got to happen to them people in day, but you got for there's supposed to be a certain the way all man knows that this day here after they not for that office anymore. Not to the president for interpret that law for we.
Well, it
A
is for
parliamentary
me.
job.
What's really funny is that the Ministry of Local, whatever, they go write letter. They tell people and say they need for vacate the seats, them need for vacate their offices, them do handing over letter and this and that. When the very parliament of self, when are the biggest legislature of them rules they are, so it's still sitting. Parliament, as far as I know, has another what 1.5 months to go. So how you they go pull people and come on at the elected seats where parliament still they run? Shouldn't elected seats be dissolved, become non-absolute, and then it go into the hands of trustees, caretakers for a selected period of time after parliament don't dissolve, because parliament gets parliamentarians that were elected into offices? Not so it's supposed to be. Shouldn't the
So
offices become null and void or abdicated, quote unquote? And when I say abdicated, not to the mean that somebody left them. No, 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 no. By means of the constitutions, by means of a work policy, by means of the legislature, they therefore left that seat there. And then if you want to be re-elected into that seat there, you get a period of time where if you don't vacate that seat there, and according to waiting me know, now the last day where parliament sit down, now the last day for making them vacate that seat there.
but you see, the truth of the matter now is that the parliamentarians are the ones that are supposed to give the power to everybody else. And supposed to tell we put a specific date, say when parliament resume this day. And these are so and so say to the last day so parliament is supposed to open. If you're not local government, these are the days you're supposed to resume office. These are the last day of the election year where you're supposed to relinquish that power and stay away from the office and get back to trustees. This now that thing is supposed to be in the book, not a thing where they're
Yeah,
supposed to they can't guess on which days they move. This now days is
yeah.
supposed to be in the book. But tell we say when you ate under the Bible, you take that oath. This is the day you took the oath. This is the day you're not supposed to go to the office anymore. If you go 1 day or 1 hour beyond that day, this is where the law will bite you. Parliament, what you don't see now, the government they went in power, they willfully come and tell you, say, no, this is one for do. If you not let them go to court, because they know say the
Yeah,
court belong to them. So what you
yeah,
this only happen over and over and over. Only they lost, the people they lost. Because the general public when they begin a fight, now we the ordinary people they go for suffer. Because all that nonsense when you do so, now the people, ordinary people they go for suffer, that suffer. The parliament which is supposed to be there to represent the people, they represent people there. Because when they all go to parliament, what they fight for? The political party force. That's the first fight they fight for, not for the people, but for the political party. Then whoever in party in power will make sure so they do whatever they can for give that presidency over too much power, over exerted power, because they know say that president get time, their own pockets don't sweet. They didn't look out for the people. They didn't look out for nobody but themselves. So until the parliament stop for be a crybaby and do the job and start being petty, because this is why parliament is being petty. We're not supposed to own and write this law. Put the law, not to just write the law, but you put the date. The date when you open when they call the office, you're supposed to be written down. This is the day you took power. This is the day you're supposed to vacate this office. When that day don't do it, not everybody can guess for we all which day is supposed to let or go. Because at the end of the day, the law supersedes. The law is supreme. But inside Salone, the president is the supreme law, not the constitution. The president is supreme. So until we go
I
back to where
wish
the law is supreme and the president, we go for the professors all the time.
I wish there be one for say, the law is supreme in Sierra Leone, but
No, it's
time and
not.
a time and time again, we already don't see say the law is not supreme. But the head, whoever then at the highest, at the apex, whoever then at the echelon, the highest echelon of the ladder, now they dictate the law. The constitution becomes absolute. The constitution becomes null and void. The constitution is at the mercy of whoever sit on at that big office. We don't see on time and time and time again. So therefore, to the parliamentarians them, or the one them where they complain about this, my question to you is, when you were there, what did you do to safeguard against this abuse of power? When you were there, you were supposed to be there making the laws, prescribing laws, ensuring good laws. What did you do in your capacity to ensure that Section 137 of the Constitution does not get abridged by somebody who will not qualify for abridge the law? What did you do? For kind complain and write bugudu bagara gara gara, not to end the thing. You actions. What actions did you take? Or what actions have you taken for protect the integrity of the law? This one, so you say they go to court. By the time you they go to court, by the time when they even put hearing, the official date of the resignation go don't come. If you say you want to take this to court, by the time you file your papers and by the time they even give you an acknowledgement, the official date that you are supposed to relinquish this position would have come and even maybe gone. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, who did you serve? Who did you work for? Your 5 years in that well, who did it benefit? Did it truly benefit the Sierra Leonean people? Did it truly make our laws work for us? People, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open even as we now move on to, because this one, so these are your doings. These are your own doings. Inside Canada, now Uda Chris where the PV council don't put, it don't waiting and call them whose minister or whose ministry Chris. When the House of Commons or the Senate don't pass them, who would that Chris? Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for my country of birth, Uda Chris. I cannot, because somebody Chris. And that Christmas day will be displayed for all to see. Now, something very interesting happened during the the SLPP National Delegates Conference, and we sort of take away from everything else we happened there, and then it became headline. And you know, the funny thing is that sometimes I can always say, to have a partner is not the thing. Make sure you have the right partner. Sometimes people are so thirsty for attention, they are so thirsty for power that they lose their senses. And sometimes they lose their senses not acknowledging or not being aware. They don't know who side and team up waiting in mean. They don't understand them at all. You know, over the years, I don't they talk about this lady, about him. She's very quick to let her mouth run. Very, very quick. Very efficient at it too. But sometimes, they say you for know your place. And sometimes when you run your mouth, you run it for the wrong reasons. This is now the second term he don't do this. Where make we forget about all of the excesses then. All of the, you know, who die waiting and call, who go chap and this and put on a tree to go this. Make we forget about all those vulgarities. But when you constantly they attack, in fact, not to the second term, the first term where he do and the first term where he say all the PhDs then are fululus them. The second term, as Mickey called, where he do in a major setting, that was right after when they come out na the convention. When he sit down at State House, he begin lament. And then he accused ministers them, right in front of a man. The third term now that I can recall, where Duncan do are now majorly now. Again, you can tell both occasions, because the first time where Edouard at least now been oversee, the man not been there the way I don't recall the husband being there when she made that statement. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the State House one, the man been sit down front seat where he making statements. Where as a matter of fact, when the husband took to the podium, he had to, quote unquote, he get for dress him up in public. And now you can also tell this time around, she took him unawares again in public. And what they do, they attack the people them where they help una for govern. And not only during that they attack people there, they make insinuating statements then, allegations. They make allegations, they infer things them. Basically putting someone else's life in danger. Because you think you are free to talk, you are free to say whatever comes through your cranium and passes through your esophagus. Make we listen to what he say.
Me not get salary in this country, and honestly, I know they even ask for salary. But they say if you people they don't say thank you to you, and go tell them what you do, and then even if they don't say thank you, when they hold it on the way, then people will tell them say we first lady in the work. Right now, the reason why I need for outline this late in the year is the fact say, Mr. President, I know my right, and I know I have my constituency, and I can brag my say, there is no other person other than the president of this country, maybe the vice president, who will claim say they have a constituency like me. The students of this country are my constituencies, and nobody will take that money away from me. So I can guarantee the SLPP nothing less than 500,000 votes this election. That I can guarantee that money. So I have a constituency. In the SLPP also, the women are my constituency. The young generation are my constituency. And half of the chairmen are my constituency. So Mr. President, all the reason why I need for outlining here because a very unfortunate situation happened to me 2 days ago where I come out Kono for Camp Freetown. Now, me not a police officer, so I'm not involved in the investigation. But I know say I was there. I saw it with my own eye. This tractor or whatever it could be, this trailer, and it came in a convoy where my vehicle and only 4 security vehicles there. The rest of everybody there were JMB members who came with me. Now this convoy, this trailer, whether the driver counts, they know exactly which number would they. Now the only time the driver said he break hot and was coming directly at me, and if I don't kill me. So the reason why I bring and come to this national delegates here, now the whole world, I might not be the president of the country, I might not be the vice president of the country, but if I am the one they want to kill, I think I need protection. I think I need protection. So because of that one day, now listen to this. I will always say thank you to the grassroots of this country and the party. Because from that day when this thing happened, I'm not able to count the thousands and thousands of una will check on me, will send me message, will pray for me. But guess what? President Bio in government, 10 ministers, less than 10 ministers, and they call for check on me. So I'm not there for can begin a call name. I'm not there. But if I can do the job also, not only as President Bio in wife, but I can do this job as an SMPP person, and I get a constituency, I feel say they need for protecting me. So do you have the delegates people there? And help me now ask President Bio say, let them help them protect me. If they don't protect me, I don't even forget. This is what they go slow. Because nobody will be in this country. I don't know how for you. Would you ask President Bio, let them provide security for me? Thank you.
Now, I know the inside Impala, I know the inside also. I not been there inside the conference for yearly waiting the president say to the first lady. But as a married woman, as someone who's been in a relationship for a very long time, I think I am within my rights and experience to say I know what that body language was all about. I think I am within my rights of experience to say I can denote, connote, deduct, deduce that body language there and that expression there. But because it is not my marriage and it is not my relationship, I dey left and so. But sister girl, you need for watch your mouth. You need for watch usa you dey talk. You need for know wetin you dey talk. You need for know how you dey talk am. What do you mean? So, first of all, you are not at the call and beck and call and at the service of these ministers. They were elected to perform a duty, not to please you, not to satisfy you. Not to pander to your caprices. So if less than 10 ministers call you, how does that connect the nation? How we concern the nation? How we concern the nation? How we concern that person where from where waking in the morning? Sometimes the guy self when a 5 block, you not able to afford that. How we concern them? These are internal affairs. Let it stay internal. You very well know for say this thing has to go come out now because you know the press was there. The press was covering all of this. Was it the right time? Was it the right place? You embarrass your man. And then you go talk about you get constituencies. How sure are you that you have those constituencies? How sure are you can guarantee those 500,000 votes? How sure are you? You know ever hear about that way they call watermelon politics inside Salone? How sure are you that come that day, that their school begin away, they go left there, pad them too? How sure are you that on that day they will turn and say SLPP? How sure are you that on that day they will turn and say Fatima? The councillors or whatever, how sure are you that you have them secure and tight, that when they team up now that voting pool, now because of you, Fatima, they get for vote back SLPP? How sure are you? How sure are you that all of the women that are now singing, whatever, dancing behind you, that when that day comes, that they will deliver for you? And you say you want security. How much more security you want? You already don't talk for say there were 4 security vehicles following you on that day. How much more security you want? What kind of security are you asking for that you are already not given? And what makes you so sure? You say you know they interfere upon police investigation, but you've already interfered. You've already interfered. You already don't insinuate say now you them in the council. Waiting, what makes you so sure that now you them in the council? What makes you so sure that after 4.5 years they don't come for you? But just few whatever to elections, all of a sudden now you then they council. Which crystal bowl or crystal magnet or whatever globe you see down there from? Because you see them with so much conviction that you have the answers in front of you, that you can provide proof and you can provide evidence. Just because you're not the first lady and people and they listen to what you say and that your word has an impact, not mean for say you get the right for put people them in jeopardy, not mean say you get the right for put people them in trouble just because you can. I mean, like, let me take a break. Go ahead.
Well, you see, stuff like this, I notice that people know the magnitude of what they first they just do so. Let's say, God forbid, what may happen that day. Not to that lady way, that kind of lady that when I close that person to her. Lord say, may God forbid. It was the first lady. She was laying on that sick bed, fighting for her life and say, they come for can, now me they come for can do so. Can you imagine that entire village, or that entire area also that thing happen, looking for that to the people in there? Can you imagine that driver, the entire family looking for that happen to them? Can you imagine between the political parties and right now, people in the come with this conspiracy theory say they don't go kill first lady? Can you imagine what if that happen in our country today? We should all right, majority of people in the fencing for you to do not get food for it. Then the first thing I think they still understand say in what the way it say it's a policy. This is what she don't understand. You don't understand say then what the way they say now a policy. What you they say is supposed to be a fact. When you see them out there, it impacts so many people in their lives. Them whether you know or you don't know, it impacts lives. Them you have to be careful what you they say. You have to be very calculative in what you they say now public. Accident happen at Salone every single day. Again, we're not talking now. Say there's not a possibility, but if there's even a possibility, extremely too slim. The question is why. If you assume somebody take you out, what's going for change? Is that going to take Madabi out of power? Is that going to change SAPP? Are you an elected official? So what are the possible for gain? Look, what they talk, don't talk about. Don't use common sense. What's in your own power or authority where you control that
But
country?
wait, the thing where I want to ask Seth, she said she knows her right. What does she mean by she knows her right? Because that is not a
No.
display of someone who knows their right.
Her right here is let's say the right now is that because everybody don't get extremely right. The point is, if first lady wants security, tango you know your constituency. Ask your constituency to provide you security. You get private security all over the place. They can provide you as long as they're not using state money. They can provide you 500 vehicles. You're not got nothing to do with you. Is that going to prevent a car accident from happening? First of all, may God forbid, Salone, what they talk about Densia, taking out somebody, continent where they're well equipped. Like the United States and other countries, they will get them, they're able to take them out. Now, Salone, way, like election time, when they go inside crowd, we don't even know that the crowd is also people that own, unable to screen them. No, we people don't even think about that stuff. Most of 95% of people, they want just eat. They kind of see that that's for politicians and catch their off money and go to us. Your life is not their problem. They're not decision for even after eliminate one. It's not even that their agenda safe. This was an accident. Even if you're scared, make sure say you sit down and calculate, say, if I've got what they say out there, how it impact people in life. Because then here, a tragic thing will happen. Now things will work for students sympathize with you right now, say, we'll take what God don't say with first lady. Not to say for can begin, they can they hit you right now, they bash you. But again, respect is not given, it's earned. You go for earn you respect from the people then. You go for no say whatever you say. Wait about constituency. The only constituency you're supposed to have in Sierra Leone is the people of Sierra Leone. Not to the women,
Could you
not to the
imagine?
mother wings. Your only constituency in Sierra Leone is the people of Sierra Leone. We the
Could
people
you
now, you for
imagine?
whoever these people.
And it's
Then
so
they can
it's
differentiate you.
for me waiting even trouble me the more is the fact that he boldly say he know in right. He know in right, and then he follow him with all the successive statements them way he follow him with. And then right inside a political conference, I might call it, you dey call make the people them deviate from waiting them can there for make them turn their attention to you and say, una ask the president make he give me more security.
The president already get too many. One or two get too many security already. This is the country we talk say is safe. This is the country we tell for can invest. When they pass with convoys in, time we say use the word, pass with convoys in all over the place. Block streets for people in for how many hours? How would I go come on and have a go invest in my that situation the way on all is scared every day? But now can't come people and see the country safe. Okay. Again, then say if I don't discuss our Chimana also before they can turn out publicly can embarrass the man this way. Because this is an embarrassment for the president. But again, I don't feed them, I don't feed them, I don't feed them. So make you enjoying food.
No, but
Now
you
I don't
know,
feed
in
the
as
people
much
don't grow,
as
don't too big now.
exactly, in as much as now an embarrassment for them, then say we're picking the land for crawl, we're picking the land for waka. If every time if for them you go total, the pikin no go waka quick. When if for don't let her make it figure out how for grab back by himself. When she made that statement, I don't remember if now be in New York that all the PhDs then at the country, the government, whatever, then full and PhD then that was where it started.
Well,
You allow her for begin denigrate people them with educational status. And then
listen.
right after that, it continue in caprices, continue. It take and go state house, right into the seats of the power, right in
Yes.
front of you.
Well,
And now
make
we
make this
take
easy
and
on the
go
president.
state house.
Well,
Even
make
though
it
you
easy on the
try
listen.
even though you try for give them a one
Don't make it easy on the first lady, okay? If the first lady say then the come in convoy, we dey ask to challenge the first lady now in any people around there. When I come with the evidence for we need the evidence by the next 1 week. Say that is a plot to take you out. Because for let you come out to that one, we know that should be a concrete. Either somebody planned a coup or there's something people that know say they not plot for can't take you out, for do them here, for make that trailer they can go eat you or whatever you call a tractor or whatever is the trailer tractor, whatever it is. We ask the first lady now. Whoever believes say them one for can kill the first lady on purpose, do ya when I come with the investigation now, when I put them out there so we all go see them as a country. So we'll go fight for you as we first lady and go after that person and make sure say it get the maximum time possible. But if you not pull that evidence there, you own that mandate, we involved and the family will then die and a public apology. Because for let you come out and say then here, you get forget a responsibility as a person. So if you not get if you get
more than a
evidence,
public
if you get that,
apology. More than a
huh?
public apology. Again,
No,
for
we're not
recount
another for
all of
one.
his
But
statements
we're not
them.
another for one. But we're for challenge integrity on that. We know for it's time for law begin challenge the integrities. Because if you come
So
accuse
make
people
you
like that when
come
they
and
put
say
somebody
I
on
been
life,
dead, I
somebody
know
sick people
waiting
don't
I
die.
see. So
Sick people
waiting you
don't
see.
die.
So all of the road accidents that we don't they happen at Salone, where we don't they talk about. Look at this guy, the Neville guy that just passed away, hit and run. Hit and run, and it is said that that was a hit job. But you see, in family, then come out and and can't talk, say we know for saying a hit job. They are conducting investigation to make sure to know. You will now, when at the
But this
first lady, will
no.
even get a much more prominent role. Now you they can insinuate say somebody wanted to take you out. How you you get that information there? How like who's proof? Because you know they just cannot, you can't say things just because you are saying it out of feelings. Feelings change. Feelings, you know, the emotions and feelings, they are not
No,
valid
but listen,
proof.
Matilda,
You feeling
just
not to you
recently,
valid proof.
just
You
just
feeling not to
recently,
a
guess what?
proof.
She was driving to Kono, not to Incan and social media can't tell people and say the pothole in a Kono road is very, very dangerous. Not to in the first, what they say, possibly can't say SLRA say, when I go fix them pothole in a Kono road, but I just come on Kono road. I just come on road. Most of the road, yes, most of the road is fine in most places, but there's safety. Plenty of people on the continent not be drive. Plenty of people not be traffic, they don't be traffic rules and none of that. So the accident that happen and maintenance now biggest problem as well. Then the maintenance about to cut them, people not be traffic simple traffic rules, and also then they go put checkpoint in the curves. I drive go corner, I drive calm. There was so many things. If you say the mistake they drive above speed limit, you can't forget an accident, no matter what.
Yeah.
The convoy they talk about. This they don't convoy, when they come, they run out that country. When they come past people, they then convoys, then convoy, and they are always accident prone because most of the kind of maintenance, most of the drivers they don't get much knowledge. When not even service sign, then they come kill the run the sign, no more on the road. So in so many
Exactly.
cases, they in so many ways, them.
One of we watch Aisatu Tarawali just they talk just like I'm always concerned about that corner road. Motorists need to be educated about how they speed in those curves and not overtaking the curves. Also, their brakes and their tires most times are not even fit for the roads, especially the highways.
It's common. It's
So
common.
obviously, this is
Every
somebody
accident of
we're
the road.
very conversant with the road.
No, like I say, I drive on the road go now. Me say drive go because I need to go. Say the drive myself around. Okay, me say the drive go now. I go calm. A very, 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 very dangerous. And guess what? People in the car can overtake you in a curve. Then, in fact, passenger must kind of clap back when somebody can pass you. Must kind of even better in the clap. We all know accidents here common. Again, you lost somebody very close to me. You all know say you the mourn, but when you the mourn, there's a way you the in authority. Your way of mourning, your way of the way you to say, is very, very important. You get for be careful
No,
because
but
you war to cost so many other lives.
this girl, remember, she made this statement, even this girl, before this lady also, or even the other soldier man and the apprentice, they succumbed to the injury. She made this statement before. So we cannot say, because we cannot say that, you know, she been they predict the death. Now that make him make the statement. No. She made this statement even before these people succumb to their injury. So what was she in say? Waiting me want for understand. What was she trying to get at? What was she getting at?
Yeah, Mr. God, we should phone
We
line
all know
open. You
for
can go
say
ahead and
this
call. The
now
phone line open.
election season. We all know for say people elect for point hand and point foot and you know score political gains. But these are not the way you do it. These are very dangerous rhetorics. Very, very dangerous. This now and like right now, that person where they drive that vehicle there. Then people that we been there at that lorry, they or the entire family or they're in hot waters.
But this is dangerous. What's in the first thing they do is very, very dangerous. They put innocent people's lives in danger. Our actions are very, very dangerous. We need for us to call them out. This is not a politics. This is not a joke. These are poor Sierra them. A security person where the guy just lost in life. That woman, it gets family them. I don't know if you get picking or not, or you get husband, but it gets family who knows them day. Then they mourn them right now. This is not supposed to be about you today. It's not supposed to be
No.
about you. It's supposed to be about us talking about these people and see what we will do as a nation for make sure that this kind of death cannot continue to happen. Instead of they can't begin to make fabricated stuff,
Yes,
put other people
callers,
in their life back in danger.
the phone lines are open.
This is not right.
Yes, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. I see somebody they ask
Nobody
the
not going
phone
to wish
line.
them can on you. Nobody not going to say what they wish them can say we on first lady. We might not like some of the things that they do, but we not hate you. Okay, we not choose you. You are first lady by default. We not go my tell mother be say choose this one for marry them. What we say when they choose mother be whoever you can with, it's by default you are ours until you left power. you know we own trouble or now we own goodwill. So we know the sit down they worry about the we can't see already the first logo before. We don't see small development in the camp. We know if somebody go find you, they can bring war back for we. Nobody come and say so you loving country go wish for them can't see if it happen. Nobody go say like wish your accidents on you. Okay, then so we get the caller.
Okay, we get a caller on the line. Hello, caller. What's your name and who's you the call from, please? Good evening, caller. Hello? Hello, caller?
Okay, we don't lost the caller.
Okay. Okay, we lost the caller.
Yeah.
Caller, try call back again, okay? Try and call back again. We're not been there
Oh,
hearing you.
make I say this there before you come. You must say this quick. You can also come to the next one. Una and the
Yes.
first lady, una or anybody in authority, una need for be careful. Power not the last. Power not
No.
something way it the last. God they give power for test who that you be. Now the same one again this the the wrong thing then, the wrong perception. I mean when I hate APCS like when I hate una safety and not get nowhere else to go. Okay? Salone una APCS like when I hate una safety, when I hate una safe. There's nowhere else you guys can go. So una stop. That's the time we go for stop and think about the nation first. For hate on ourselves so bad that anything happen, or una so paranoid that every time when they only if they come after you. If when I do the right, you're not gonna be so paranoid. You guys are so paranoid because of your bad act.
Yeah.
Una bad act to make una so worry. If it's something natural, people not even worry about it. When they make out to something, when they build a story around them, we're not supposed to build a story around them at all. This is not supposed to be a story until the police gets a proper evidence. Say this was a willful act. We don't even think about it at this point.
Yeah.
Until the
No,
person,
absolutely.
can you imagine? Can you imagine them check them out and finance them see that they ever get a APC party card inside it, or you get shot, you get close inside it? No, this is not funny. I'm telling you. Then go see you get close inside it, or they may see party card. Can you imagine waiting for the story for them be today? It might be even a coincidence. I'm not APC supporter. I'm not even here. These people are criticized all the time, but no, we can't not put to country force. Not put to country force. Because then small tears, then small tears for the whole back will just come out. Poor guys if they don't lost their life. If they don't lost more lives than we they even imagine today. Why?
Yeah, indeed. You know, a young lady once at university wrote extensively about ethnopoliticization in her country. And that young lady came to a lot of conclusion. And as the show they go on and as we they draw near to election, that young lady might just start reading excerpt from her dissertation about how ethnopoliticization, the cost of ethnopoliticization, and why it is very, very important for a country like Sierra Leone to move away from ethnopoliticization and aspire towards, ethno-depoliticization. I might be young, and I am young, but sometimes listen to what comes out of the mouth of babes. Una don nyaka nyaka we country. Una don't turn them into something else. People can't find themselves anymore. I really feel sorry for them when they were still old political party card inside Sierra Leone. For them when they were still the knack chest, say me, I belong to this political party, or I belong to that political party, or are they fit for that political party, or they fit to yourself for that political party. You know, I feel very, very sad. Somebody been they talk now. Madingo ayeriso or something. um, the I feel sorry for the voters of Sierra Leone this coming election. I really, I don't envy your position at all. I don't envy your position at all, at all, at all. It is a tough position. A very, very tough position. Make I take the caller on the line as we continue. Caller, waiting at your name and who you the call from.
I call from US. This night, Isita. My name is
Hello,
Isita.
hi. Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. So my contribution this night, that road. I know they talk too much about the politics, or because politics really want for turn with country upside down. And because if something happened to somebody of high caliber like that, sometimes emotions can kick in. Maybe you will feel say, oh, because the country, the way how the politics they go, like everybody they think say the next person they out there for do something to her. So if something like this happen, the first thing we go jump na your mind as a natural. I know they say right, but you go think say somebody want come at me. A right for saying out there, no. Given the position where the first lady hold, because you get big supporters, you got a lot of supporters there, where some people they not go process and very well. But from a human standpoint, pass now the law, who can in mind, pass now something else, the investigation prove otherwise. So you go finally all my ways for the investigation. You know wrong, nobody not wrong, yeah, nobody not right until now do the investigation, and the investigation shows say yes indeed somebody may want to do that, or no, somebody not want to do that. Then we go forward. But then we take this as an example, say this not the kind of thing where it really bad for letting two parties be great enemies, and like this is too much now. It only trickle down to everybody. So they don't say person or not forget be opposition, but I feel say they make two parties forget checks and balance. Meaning when one person they do bad, another person they and the way they oversee over and say no, not do this way. Then we make that they help for drive the country forward. But they don't so make this thing so bad now that like even if they see say they want first one party they do well, then go try for twist them around and make always the other party feel say, and make the supporter they feel say the other party they do well, because they know the truth themselves. And then two APC, this SLPP, they don't really they drag the country go down. We don't tire. So this kind of thing where happens. So it's supposed to be something where for throw a light on everything where they happen at the roads there, including the corner road. So that for me make now let we pay attention and ask ourselves what do we need for correct, because look now big danger be what happens. So if this woman will die, the first lady mean stuff like something may happen to Randy before then go find out say oh na accident or not to accident, they kind of investigate. So now even though it's tragic that life they don't live, but if in your life, because him after a man, the vice president, like an insert the president, the immediate family member, this it for me be a big deal. And if for me bring news come back again at the whole world about we. So now we stop, make we think what do we need for do for correct the numerous accidents they are where they be. The one me afraid that corner road, where I can go Salone, where I go for go see me family in a corner road, why they sleep that night and they sleep well. Who enter inside that motor car till we reach, and so me mouth can quiet. Why? Because me life me don't nearly left there. Based on them checkpoints they already make. Around 1995, Where from when them turn and begin and put their checkpoint, they would try for can hit the checkpoint before they tell the driver they see a on high speed as he check the brakes. So now they think then now it's first and enemy again when they say brake cut. The motor somersault, okay? Okay, sorry. So the brake cuts that motor somersault, I still get the scars them and nearly lost my life day. Corner road, bad. Port road them. Speed. Then NGO cars, the way me go, the 210, the I don't go. Now they are the see the speed now that road recklessly more than anybody else. The last time what I mean nearly get accident, they back again. Then they again are one of the NGO cars. Then. So then government vehicles, then big trailers them. Now they road day. Your cars and then everything equipped to them, but they overspeed. So Naomi go stop. But we are no, we just now pay attention and educate people and driver unions them. Everybody that we concern, let them bring them. Them boku checkpoint. What done? The checkpoint they're supposed to be for important thing. They're not for the past and harass people. Una, thank you. Sorry for the time.
That's okay. Thank you so much for calling in, caller. And obviously, you can call. You could not say this caller, so they call from a point of experience. Obviously, it also they call from a point of trauma because remember, you know, like you say, he nearly lost in life twice now. You know, where he nearly encountered an accident. The first one, it was an actual accident, and now the second one. So obviously, that Kono highway, they na a very dangerous highway for travelers. Then, so nothing we need for be looked at. Nothing where the road transport authorities then at the country need for look into, and they need for give them serious attention. Maybe now that you know. The first lady, we no need for be so for make something happen, but maybe now that maybe involve somebody of that high a caliber, maybe now then go take them seriously and give them the necessary merit where they deserve. I go to the next caller. Caller, waiting at your name and who's you call from?
Yeah, I'm Jonathan Goodrich, calling from Japan.
Okay, welcome. And what you get for we this evening?
Yeah, I just want to throw one or two lights to within the discussion day on. One, yeah, first of all, I really thank you now, you know, for educating people there and the contribution going at the game, especially we were there far off here. The two things that we're going to try for emphasize over there: one, the convention, the first lady in comment; two, and the accident. First, yeah, let me go to the accident. You see, we just need for pray for that country. Where you get a system where the institutions they're not there in place. A day they get them kind of problem here. The accident where it happened, it make me for think about something. At the drive, they come out from Freetown, they go 91. And they go down by Magoshi Hill, they go down. This woman in convoy, they come down from the other side of Magoshi, they come. The very first thing, where you get a convoy, the drivers then for be trained by SLRA. They for be highly professional, then for know about security convoy. The man and the way they drive them with car and they don't know anything and the way that convoy they come, that convoy not they take in lane, that convoy they use the other lane beside the other cars and they come. Fine, we don't say that convoy they come. But when you use a convoy, the first thing you get the escort bike. If that woman need to come on a Godrich, they can't pass through Lumley for go. If FIBA like say now war, now in they take place. That woman they talk about say you get 4-5 cars. That woman get more than 10-15 cars a day on that particular roadway they move with. I really feel sorry for the people that we know. Get sympathy for the people that will really get injured into that accident or one or two things. But when they talk about the convoy, when they talk about the accident, we know they talk about the village outside the accident take place, what did take place there? The people then wait in that village, accident, you know, we all have get to your village. Where accidents happen, everybody they rush for camp. It was a disaster. Coming to the other side of the ministers, they're watching the woman talk. Ministers, they not give them a call and thing. That's why they support her 100%. You know why? And they tell you, with no regret, 90% of the ministers, they're not qualified for be ministers. Now, cash and carry ministers. These are people then we pay money for become who they are. So they're not getting integrity. If they talk to them anyhow. That woman, they're not elected, not an elected person. And we go for revisit the constitution for know the role of the first lady. Where you go sit down, you go tell ministers and what, because in the first place, if they get integrity, if anybody will get integrity from that word, they go tell us that they resign. Because you know they work for the first lady, they work for the people of Sierra Leone. They chastise people the way they represent the country right before the international community, where the whole world they watch on that particular convention day. They not get integrity. Then we have been talking about that letter we forgot. These are some of the things then where people then will not know their responsibility. Just they sit down in the right letter. Where somebody not knowing responsibility, you just sit down. Now many contracts that they don't sign at that country day to day, we not even pass through parliament. 5 years ago, I tell my sister, called me, oh, they're not doing inauguration. I said that country don't see. He said, why? I said the arms of the arms of power will matter be take that woman. Don't sink the country. The woman get power in the country. The woman ain't run the country. This thing not to think oh they can begin the balance. Oh, first lady, this, that. Marabio have failed. Marabio is a personal friend. I know as somebody I get high respect for. But look, go straight to the point. Marabio don't fail. This thing where you go on, so we're not going to continue. Because we saw with days until we feel safe, we're in a better way and things. But the next generation of Sierra Leoneans, they don't see way. The problems are where they go on at that country, the advantage. Why would they take this accident there for people like for saying a national issue? How many people that would not die in that country on accidents where investigation up to today will not even hear the story?
Mm-hmm.
How many people then? Where they don't go through them kind of circumstances here. That truck driver where they talk about, according to the information we get, the truck driver like say that same way like I maybe they drive, then they left the lane and go on that particular drive with that fear, guns, parachuters, OSD and all that kind of thing. They until they at the truck they fear. Whole brake no, I'm not even fixing a brake fail. But now that fear. Because they get a car, that particular car in a Toyota Land Cruiser, open back. Where they run before us, they don't go cut before they fed for cancel, for go-so, they end up for hits, then the motor car turn over. You know what's happening with the people that were in that village? The system is broken. Now we talk about accident. Who said the journalists that wait there in Salone, wait for don't go there for tell we say, for talk to the people that wait in the village, what it take place? Would not the journalists who don't go for go say, okay, would I get this truck? Because the truck getting license plates, each license plate within that country, they register. Would not the owner of the truck? What thing happened to the accident? We know they read that. We have the celebrator say somebody for save somebody in life and he would not care for people their life. The driver says himself way there and nobody no know. The apprentice, nobody no know. A driver will leave na Lonchar, where they come off Freetown, where stop, where the accidents happen. Feel sorry for the soldier man them, where even injured, where can't done. Mr. Stupid go take his phone, he begin to take pictures, then drag him to death. Let's get these things then straight up. Okay, thank you very much. I just want to give you my own contribution. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Thank you. thank you, thank you very much, Kola. The
Yes.
Kola makes some salient points there. Is that which is true? We they talk about the first lady. We they talk about the people, like I say, according to me, your knowledge, I know say 3 people in die or 3 people in succumb. 2 soldier man them and 1 apprentice. Now, one pan the soldier them obviously because of her prominent role, they don't bring and come out, they don't make we know. But the other one, they don't make we know it, and also the apprentice, they don't make we know it. And also another thing where the caller talking about, waiting actually happened at that village, that side where the accidents take place. No one is talking about that. And no one is talking about the fact that when they realize that the first lady in convoy being there inside the accident, some of the soldier man them, the bodyguards them, the convoys them actually shoot in the air. Because I know say where accident, where something been a salon, all man they run for can watch. But because they not be one make people and begin pull their phone, video this, that, they not be one make crowd gather, they actually shot shots in the air for disperse the crowd. That actually happened there. And again, that is something no one is talking about. About the fact that way he say, you know, he missed the he said he missed the minister then because most of them not qualified for them at the position then where then they. I get what he's saying, but at the same time, a man in the man fit when I at the president, the man fit for making them people and then at that position there. And I don't think it's up to the wife who is not an elected official for coming disrespect them. Not because they didn't, not because they not do the work where they put the inside for do, but because they not call and say Asia. I think say that are 2 different things. But anyways, since them done the catch I want make we go to, what the convention was actually called for and how it happened. Where I want make we hear waiting President, waiting in call Bio say and how the answer take place and how all that they come together. So we just wait on the technical team, make them play the President Bio in small address, and then we play now the Vice President in own part, and then we move on.
Are we together? I'm happy for seeing una come together and we don't make resolutions and we don't decide. Now it's time to go and execute. I will lead the battle. As I lead, my battle is the Lord's. So I say thank you to all of you. This is the beauty of democracy in the SLPP. It's necessary before we go to the next election for make we come gather and get this deal, because of course we'll come on now, nobody needs to before we engage. So ladies and gentlemen, I am very confident as I speak to you. I know say with the win on the 24th, no runoff, the 24th not so, 24th not so. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, I say the same ticket we are going on the last election. Me and Hygiene, Doctor.
reassure His Excellency say, I go double my commitment, I go double my loyalty, I go double my hard work for me. 2023, June 2023, Uhurba, no Raraf. One country. I want to reassure His Excellency say, my loyalty, my commitment, I go double am for the next 5 years. And that now one agenda we get, not mad abio agenda, now we get. Take go. One country. I want to tell all the delegates that thank you. And on behalf of myself, my family, and all the SLPP grassroots supporters and delegates, say, I don't accept this running mate with all my heart. One country, one people. Assalamu alaikum, God bless you all.
Okay. So obviously we don't see Usai, the president don't say in they go back. Now the same person we go with the ticket with in 2017. Now the same person in they go with the ticket with back in 2023. But I want to call on attention to something. This thing a thing where the first lady don't they talk, we can talk, it can talk and if you remember, when Jules they pick the mic in the acceptance, himself say am before he correct himself. And that is in the year of the election. Then don't they say 2024. The first lady don't say am boku tem 2024. Jules they don't come, himself don't can say 2024 before he correct himself back now, he say 2023. So as an analyst, I cannot help but make sure say that what they done the ring first na me, yes. I go pack in a corner. So last week, we been get a debate. And I tell una say, una make we sit down, make we tie a jar. Una make we wait. Them not the fire again, it shall all reveal itself. But even as I say that, I am still not naive to not know that history also in Sierra Leone has taught us, if you don't know this, that there is a possibility to have two vice presidents than a Salone. There's a possibility. It has happened before. Now go check on history. Not to me go can't teach you no history. It happened before. Say, you get first vice president we run with the ticket and then get a second vice president where now a selection by the president. It don't happen before. So, even as all of this don't happen, and as I keep saying, and I will keep saying, slow your horses, slow your rolls, let us wait, and let us be patient to see how it all unfolds. So then don't talk then, you know. And again, another na inside them Maridoso, neither am I in their quarters. But please let the fighting stop. The man don't say, he don't come, he don't say what he want for say. Madam, slow your rolls, let the fighting stop. That boku fet, bomboso where they make another house, they make it do show. Let peace reign. Let there be some moment of tranquility and quietness around the vicinity. Don't feel say your voice not they carry, your voice they carry. They also not insulated that kind of way they wait for make your voice not they carry, your voice they carry. So in the name of the respect, wait for go with Usa you sit down. Just slow your rolls and let things unfold. Okay? Honestly, me not get much for say because I knew this was what was going to happen. Even though I knew that we are very high contentions within the home about what was about to happen, I knew it was about to happen, and there is more to come. Yeah, there is more to come. And soon I know say me na Creole, not all I dey talk. I dey take basket cover for now. Not all I dey take fan cover basket. I go to you, make it talk you.
You see, I smile because I sense that and it's by chroma kind of phenomena don't begin to happen small to the SLPP. Where the president go and promise everybody, yeah, I'll give you a car, I'll give you a house. I- I'll make it. And the same thing, APC, same thing back. Second time, we President Kuma me tell me go second time. Now we can share invisible power give people left. I said the same thing, madam, you said we can do. So if boss cake, I mean, if you say you get vice president some 381 SAPP, boss don't come move. They say they keep in the government hold the government in place. So now the cake wife phenomena, I think that it can be interesting because I don't know, Pastor say I'm Minister of Foreign Affairs now, but say that I sign up for First Lady, and T say me say one small thing, like for me the advisor. So, but I mean, politics don't begin to play inside the party. And as I tell people, them as they get slower and slower, it get for be worse. It get for be worse because
Yeah.
we tell the SFP they happen, the type of do waiting happened to Sasman and the APC. Similar thing for happen to Julie. I mean, they laugh. But slowly begin set the perimeter and shooting the go on. They don't miss some the first round because I mean, people will tell for get rid of them. And now if President Bio win the next election, they start for do well and go into the next within the next election, and then begin smell say there's a possibility say SFP will win the next election coming. It's gonna be a tough internal fight top internal fight because that will not run away from Salone politics. We know the reality say it's a tribal politics, it's a regional politics. Empathy are based on tribal and region. Now we look at the fuller people living inside Sierra Leone. They are very, very small, but they control very large amount of money. Now, when you look at people from the southeast, they will allow Julia Jallo for be a flag bearer for SAPP going to the next coming election when Marabi is not around. I don't see that happening. So if that's the case, then what's in the SAP need for what the SAP go for do if Julia Jallo become the running mate with President Bio, take President Bio done in 2 terms? What's that go for Julia Jallo? Are they going to take him out or they go by default give him the flag bearership and say, well, you honor because he did close to the president on land for 10 years with him, you can take him. Or they will look at him and say, Paddy, we not see you as a blood SAPP person, you know, somebody will just where the president come with the party if I go back home. So that I don't feel say the politics of play. That similar phenomena will happen to Sansmana. I see them slowly creep. Let me get the final I go further say the KKY phenomena kind of thing. And they come into play slowly. Because you know say you get some wings there right and the try to take KKY say that's a possibility that President Bio wants you closer. So when they left, you now you wangi. And we know that dream that we KKY will not get for a long time say he want for lead the SAPP. Now he bring them fight to break away can form the KKY movement. Now, if President Bio they can do it last time, we know say after this one, if you win the elections, he's not eligible to run again. He get for left because according to the constitution only 2 times you get for do. Now the KKY movement now we find out saying people them now but could on the standby say if the KKY fully come to the SAPP and get the higher position, they might transform come back into the SAPP. But if the KKY not get the position, this is where I think say the butt we get for hits the neck. So we get for enjoy the politics. The Julia Jallo phenomena is about to start coming into play. They also get the Prince Adinwe in the mastermind. The Prince Adi because they miss the Batilo Songa with the first lady the young squad don't miss the for all the talk because the Batilo Songa first lady me once and they because Batilo Songa become the chairman of the SAPP, therefore they're able to link the party towards the Mother Bio, the Jesus Mother Bio wing. They miss him. So now the Prince Adi is still in charge. What's now Prince Adi in your own game now you go for play? Go into the next election, and we all know who Prince Adin is. When it comes to SAP party politics, Prince Adin is one of the what's mastermind in that political party? SFP does anything because of Prince Adi. We know if Lepos
Yeah.
get what he get because of Prince Adi make it do all the hard work here. So again, this is going to be a very interesting dynamics within the SFP party going forward, coming from this going within the 2023. At the six scandal they come
Well,
away.
you they go too far. You they go too far. I think say you don't jump gun sef for imagine them winning the election and going into office and all of that and what might precede that. I am interested in finding out that listen. I am taking center role. I dey take center role na this party. I dey take center role. I dey take front seat role. VIP, whether they invite me or not, I dey take VIP seats because as of as of yesterday, wetin don begin play. Like when somebody can say the reggae they play, the reggae don't begin play. A lot of it is not out yet to the public ears. But like when Matilda can say, patient dog, they eat fat bone. Like when this Elba say mama tell and say, patient dog, they eat fat bone. Patient dog, get for eat fat bone. My people, una not judge, una sit down, una go get una cold water. Uda they drink cold water, may drink. Uda they lick ice cream, may drink. Uda get popcorn, may drink am. And they invite una na the VIP row. VIP section, nobody know they sit down a back seat this time. Now VIP section, and there we all they sit down. It's going to get interesting. It's going to get very interesting, even though it don't declare whether I want for declare, it don't this, it don't that. The campaigns, the this. It's going to listen.
So me a
It's
question
going to
after
get
you.
very
So me a
interesting.
question to you, Matilda. So you feel say the cake whether forgets a front row and this coming next set this coming set of SFP?
I foresee if it happens, if he decide for go with them, because right now he not talk who that he dey with you, and I still maintain that
Yeah.
he not talk who that he dey with.
Well, I would say
He
if it
just
talk,
say he just say he get for form strategic alliance, but he not say who that he get for forming strategic alliance with. Wetin he say he dey talk to the president and he go continue for talk to the president. Then they not to I am going to form a strategic alliance with the SLPP. As a communicator, I cannot sit here and allow myself to go down that thinking path. I cannot. I have to analyze it for what it is, which is I will continue for talk to the president, which basically translate that I'll continue being in conversation and in communication with the president. But as to my political alliance, I have not yet spoken or I have not yet declared who that alliance is going to be with. So make we left and so. And now the reason that they make, I no go even play Madam Femi Claudio School in reaction to what's going on in the NGC. Because me know for say, right now, even as we dey talk, even with the one that we don't left this store, where's them? They are all in communications and they're all talking and they're all trying to, they're all in meetings and they're all in consultations. So make we wait and see waiting waiting get for happen. You know what I mean? Get for wait. This thing not to think what they run for it the crowd. Get for take them pick the crowd. Make we take them pick the crowd. We cannot run and get to the bottom and
so
grab the
me,
crowd quick. And
if na
this
prediction,
one not
if na
one
prediction,
we get
make a
for take
predict
iron
now.
spoon. We
If
not get
na,
for take iron spoon crepe this
it's
crowd.
gonna
We get for
happen.
take 16. Eh?
The Julia Jallo phenomena, it can for happen. If it matter, you not get rid of family, and the cause if they get for get rid of family, no matter what, it's gonna happen.
I know it's going to happen. I'm not questioning the fact that it's going to happen. I say make we take a VIP seat. You say if you not listen to me while they talk. I say make we take VIP seat. It's going to be interesting. This is like when, like the French say, long métrage. It's going to be a long métrage. It's going to be a series. It's going to to be a series. A long metrage. It's going to be a series. We know even the first series not done itself. That you one can take me go inside season 3. No, I refuse.
Hey,
Let
no,
us
you know,
take
so we on job now for begin predict wanted tell and say now this go there we for take we now no wanted because many politician we know all many politician they go and watch the road. Lord should want to say they go for passing now go for passing meet you now una pass and meet with happen wait for una because now so many tell APC and say they come meet where they go they meet you
chief
when they pass come
minister to the
same thing happen so because President
to
Biden be
the
right now. So why there's something different between
to
vice president and the chief minister? I
it's
think
like
it's the same thing.
A chief of staff is equivalent to the chief minister. So normally in a government, you get the prime minister, the ministers, you get the chief of staff. Normally, then choose not forget a chief of staff, then choose forget a chief minister instead, right? So chief of, but like I
But
say,
but but
it is not of hardness in
where
Sierra
Francis
Leone.
Milede though, where Francis Milede, I mean they work more with President Bill than Julie. So for
Oh
Francis was
yes,
seen more like the vice president, more of a vice president than the chief minister. So I mean, I make people
yeah.
get that concern say, do we have two vice presidents run at the same time simultaneously?
Exactly, but make we also not forget say inside Salone, there's history to show that we've had two vice presidents concurrently at the same time. So now not forget that. I keep a hint to
So they
that
already
one
like
day.
okay, right?
Well, I not talk, I not talk, I beg. I just dey repeat history. Me, I there for. I am just here to repeat history and say what history is. Not to me write am, not to me enact am. I just dey say wetin me don't happen, and then I left and so. Wait, you can take me much pool waiting and call a fire. Not go
Eh,
be. Not go be. I
well,
refuse.
I think I forget just next somebody coming tomorrow with Mr. Shilon. Now they acting. I think that the acting chairman or vice chairman right now, but
Now
at lead of
the
the
acting vice chairman of the party, and I have
okay.
intention, like I said, I intentionally not invite any of them people they also for
No, they
cannabis
come
show
with Mr. Shilon tomorrow because
because
I noticed some of them
yes,
questioning for camera people and go for the African tomorrow.
exactly, because I need for make them go through them process, make them go through them processes. When they don't go through them process done, then because if I can't sit down I ask so I am too waiting and call. I go begin ask them some kind question where me self I go pull back and say no.
You know what?
So make them don't go so that when the time reach for ask the question, we'll ask the question. So make Mr.
I mean,
Salone and Madam Fadima, hey, make them they do am first. Me, I just want for there for analyze for now. The analysis is too sweet for me to give it up and give them time to come talk. No, I won't do it.
but listen,
So
whether we agree or not, like I watched recently at the CDC4C. Okay, the two interview is on Sunday, not tomorrow. Oh, why the things say tomorrow Saturday? I'm sorry. I mean, I feel say tomorrow Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday. I thought I think say today Saturday. I apologize. Yes, Sunday, not Saturday. For
yeah.
whatever reason, um, and they watch it for see slowly they don't slowly they can dissolve slowly. And they see most of the members and they pass scatter right and like way you put on top and salt. So like come they see for second for dissolve the water road. The same as with NGC but as a politician and greedy, most of them right they adopt. I mean adopt don't pattern, most of them don't begin change color. So they only for look for outside the sugar ranch there. This is what is going on. Anybody that any party, they wait for see if APC will pick up, if they will get a momentum for win the election, or they look at the
Speaking
SFP
of
go with win. Then
APC,
they go fight for the defense guys for right. They look at wait for.
speaking of the APC, make we close with that. And guys, or viewers, and not forget to we get for talk about the dangers of diaspora investment or even local investment. We get for talk about, and we go use the Idris Elba example. Idris Elba don't obviously he don't make plans na Ghana, he don't make plans na Tanzania, and then there was a plan in place in Sierra Leone. We're going to talk about how Sierra Leone is a different beast, it's a different market when it comes to investment inside Salone. We're going to talk about the do's and the don'ts, especially for diaspora and investment inside Salone, especially when it relates to government interference or whatever, we get for talk about that because the Idris Elba case now a very good pilot story for talk about that, and I get a lot of information on that situation there to be able to articulate it properly. But the time is not now because the reggae too sweet for make I left the reggae and can't talk about I can't talk about that. So speaking of the APC, so it is alleged, and I say it is alleged because it's not confirmed news. It is alleged that on Sunday, Dr. Samora Kamara is expected to make his intention known in Makeni. And right now, a lot of the APC Agbagba them, they are making their way to Makeni this weekend because from the 17th to the 19th, then they get the convention. And then, like where I see some people and they say SLPP, they don't show their own, they close free term. Now they want to see what APC gets for do. What I before says, before don't go to the same people the way they talk, so make them for do a drone image caption. Before don't do a drone image caption of the people then. And then when APC don't do their own, when they declare, when next time they do their really, I do a drone image caption again.
But you get to
So
realize,
put
say,
the two
but
together.
you get to realize, say, the same way where green they go dance, and the same way for go where red they go dance. So when you
Now
can't to
that make
cry
I
in a
say,
salon,
now that make I say them if I don't do them people already talk say they shut down free talk. If I don't do a drone image caption, then put them aside. When APC self can with their own, then do drone image caption, then they put the two together. Then go see.
first of all, the they want Wakuma one the one free shot, the one free clothes. Then party t-shirt, then that's money use for go the egg in the game. So if you get free red, free green, you get for where they wait till for go do they go set them to depending on which in that kind of that party clothes and the way they work to put up blame the party. So most of them are the same way go dance green, where you go dance, you get that small rest in the hand, you get small money, and go dance to get it back. So they're not
Exactly.
going to determine that for win the election. And I believe the APC don't land that first hand. Then they tell them they block them are Chinese. Then they pull a Chinese pan there. SAP sending for be careful the same phenomenon about the car for them.
Exactly. Now that
So
make I say. So the one way they talk now to them in SLPP party them because I get them and you guys are my brothers and sisters. We're all brothers and sisters. And I know for say in as much as Sidon as I talk, I know ever Sidon harm come upon you guys, and I hope the same favor will be returned to me if ever. But the truth is that I've been they laugh and I refuse for comments by any of them because I'm in my head and I'm like, what have we not seen before? The same people that will go come out so we wear that green. Now for just make a drone image caption you put her. Now the same people in back you get for see, or you get for wear the red and white. Then you put them together. Now shirt no more than change, but not the same face. So
the same.
why all this pandemonium? Why all this
Well,
pandemonium? It's unnecessary.
hey, they can't see the eye. Now the money they come out. You don't see money they come now the money they come out. All the money we go hide and now they come out. So Mr. Adelayo, I don't like for dance. I don't like that's what politician I like, but if I'm less alone, I'm for the way red or green. That money Mr. Forget me own.
If I don't wear red, you see, CC don't promise them say don't guarantee them 500,000 votes.
Hey, who's that
How we
so?
come up with
No,
eh?
no make I go back to Salone.
You were
You can't
talking
go
on the
down.
video. He said don't guarantee them 500,000 votes because he get constituency. And
Well,
from a constituency, they
I dey go sell
guarantee
me
them
own.
500,000 votes.
And if I go sell me own votes na free too. And if I
Uh-huh.
go sell,
So we
so,
as VOS, waiting almost voting. Okay. I'm being petty now. I'm being petty. I'm being petty. I should stop.
yeah,
But to be
APC
honest,
they say they
though,
can't begin pull their money. Wait for the money there. APC say they can't begin to pay money. But I want to see
exactly.
what happen.
But you know what? To be honest, though, next week get for bring it on because make I just see something here. So by the time we come back next week, Friday, definitely we go don't know who that na the flag bearer for APC. by the time we sit
So,
down, I ask for
so,
next week Friday.
okay. Before we go far, now the same,
Oh
now
no,
the
we
same
don't
selection I go for
wait
do.
because na from the 17th to the 19th, the convention go just don't begin. Sorry, we no go don't know it. We no
So,
go
me one
don't know it.
question before
Sorry.
we go. Now, selection I go for do or na election I go for do?
I think say na elect then get for elect the person because don't change them bylaws then.
Okay.
Don't change them bylaws then. So therefore, I think say na elect then get for elect the person, not to select then get for select the
Okay.
person.
Okay. I mean,
But
just want to follow up on that. No, thing to go on. So
yeah,
this
I
thing is
think
gonna be
so.
election.
I think so. We will follow up on that, or
Oh
maybe
yeah.
this is a good time to have Berete on. Maybe well, then convention will just begin. So maybe not. No, maybe let
After the
me just keep
convention,
it
yeah.
the way it is. Yeah, after the convention, let me just keep it the way it is. After all, man, don't get the convention and this, that. Then obviously, like I say, I will not be reaching out to any politician to come on the show
No,
because I
no,
think say
no.
una owe am to the people of Sierra Leone to want to come on the show, to want to tell the people of Sierra Leone your intentions and for genuine questions to be asked to you. Where you can am a show, they come now this show thinking that you're going to get it soft, thinking that you're going to get a free pass. No, 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 no. I will grill you. I will get to the bottom of things. And you all the people serious answer because the way you see me face it, say joke nothing and me face first. And they change me attitude, change me face, all thing. So that for say we mean business. Say we mean business. But listen, all said and done, make we wrap up the show. We don't talk a lot today. We don't talk about different things. Then, what do you get for say for wrap up?
I mean, just to say, listen, politics na a fun game, but we don't get to a point society say you don't become more hindrance than fun. We get for find way. Now, make I say this today. Am I not sound right for so many Sierra Leoneans because of the way they put up? Whether we pull APCO or pull SAPPO, Salone for better. It's not for before. If we the people are not change we own attitude, we not change we self first. Changing political party not to a promise say the country for move forward. Changing ourselves and our attitude towards our country. Now a 100% guarantee say we continue to move forward. So we can go to elections all we want. The modalities that we put in place, how will they choose we leaders them, how will they one way country, how will they treat each other, how we they put we country first, how will they minimize corruption within even ourselves, not even on the political level. Now this salone better, now this salone suffer better. How would always say accountable, or all we leaders them accountable, no matter if we like them or not. Be fair. You don't need for like I tell people all this time. I know they go vote for someone because I like you. I they go vote for it because I feel say you will do the job. If you know me myself, you want for certain if I not feel say you the winner, I know they vote for you. That's what means I don't like you, but I not feel say I feel say if I put you there, I don't I not be fair to myself any country. This is what we need to do. But until we move away from that tribal and regional politics, so not going to move forward. Until we move away from hating each other for no reason at all, so not going to move forward. Until we decide for all the one who love accountable, we're not going to move forward. So I like we change. APC come back now power. We go for complain about the same way they complain so today. SAP come back now power. We go for complain the same way. The people go for the same thing because even parliamentarians, the one they criticize they want to parliament they go for vote the same way, but forgive the one way the person in counts na power more power. So do ya, me family. Salon in better one, not fall on we leaders them. It fall on we as citizens them. It fall on the way we think and behave. Until we change that, we're not going to get left a better salon for next generation and that obligation for we for make we left a better salon as we meet them for next generation to come. Thank you very much for having me tonight.
Okay. So we fumble them. We don't talk. We don't laugh. We don't joke. We don't. But the bottom line is, I hate for be a voter right now. Salone. I no envy any of the voters. Them the situation where una day right now is between two rocks and a hard place. In a see, so long as we continue for show loyalty to a symbol, and a person, and not loyalty to ourselves and the nation as a whole, we will continue for Fenway Safe Usaiwide. So long as the majority willing for defend wrongs because of a symbol or because of an individual, we go continue for day Usai we day. So long as you feel say that person where them puts na power, or where you help put na power, or where we put na power better pass you, and because it then at that power day, and you say better pass you, you say in your life for sure betterness, for sure a year pass you your life, we go continue for the Usai with day until we begin to consciously ethno-depoliticize, consciously begin make sure say the fabrics of our society is not embedded into ethnopolitics, loyalty and alliance to tribe and region, and my brother, my sister, we would still continue to have these debates. Because guess what? The people them way we put inside office will continue for the mass pawilic pieces. Because we have not made ourselves relevant. We have not demanded for relevance and for respect. And until we demand for relevance and respect and relevance will never be given to us. So again, to the people that we get for going at the poll, we get for cast a ballot, you have a very difficult choice to make. I don't envy now at all. But I hope so with the small talk them, the small enlightenment them, and waiting we don't talk for the past 4.5 years, coming on to 5 years. I hope say something somewhere in there clicked. That is the only thing I can hope for. And that if it click, then of course it won't only be about voting for a symbol or a person, it will be demanding for what is rightfully yours, demanding for what should be rightfully yours. Una dey vex say it is sell by the go build film studio na Ghana. When we go Ghana, una ask them when are the last time then light the autumn flow. Then they not see them. Una dey vex say it is sell by the go film studio na Tanzania. When we go Tanzania and ask them, say, when was the last time you experienced a power outage? You know, like that. Interrupted power outages. How is your sewer system? Are your infrastructures working for you? Have you built and cultivated an industry? Who don't want for going to country where they say action, the lights cut, then they get for wait for say, where the generator? The generator they make noise, una push and go be enforced, una push and go be enforced. And then I get for go edit the noise out. Nobody wants that. You want luxury, but you're not willing to demand for what it takes to have the luxury. You just want the gratification at the end. No, it doesn't work that way. Elect people who would work for you. And to the First Lady of the Republic, ain't nobody paying attention to your drama anymore. Ain't nobody paying attention to your caprices. The more you do it, you're pissing people off. To the one innocent people and we lost their life, may God give them good road. But you know what is funny though? Like I always say, the Casada lives still there, the rest still there. Don't be surprised that we revisit aspect of this topic again one more time. Fambolem. Anytime on a friend on a self na the world, may God bless we all. May God give we waiting with a friend na this junior and make it protect we any side or side with it. Tata.